back to the channel. For today's video, I'm gonna explain you about the equipments and when and how to build them to a Titan during a match. So this video is specially made for the beginners. This video is the second episode of the series. So if you didn't watch the first one, I have given the link in the description. There will be 4 more episodes on this series. So in today's video, I will be explaining you the equipments in the attack section. So friends, if you are new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and don't miss out the future episodes. So the basic things you have to know. The general stats of an equipment can be stacked up to how many times you wish. But the unique passive of the equipment, which the equipment can only offer, cannot be stacked more than once. So for example, if you buy an equipment, let it be Spear of Longinus, it has 80 normal attack damage as general stat, right? So if you buy 5 of this item, you will end up having 400 normal attack damage and 5 into the other general stats. But the passive of reducing 60 armor remains the same. It won't changes to 300 armor reduction. Before starting the video, I just want to explain something. So in this, I will be telling you the classes of Titans who are best suited for the equipments. For some items, I will tell you the specific Titan who will be benefited. So let us look at the Titans in the different classes, so that it will be easy for you to understand while explaining about equipments. So first we have tanks. So the Titans who have more HP, armor and magic defense as default, otherwise can call them as supports. Next is warriors. Some warriors are tanky and some are squishy, and they deal only physical damage, simply normal attack damage. The assassins deals burst damage who are mostly squishies. Some assassins deal magic damage and some deal physical damage. Next is mage, who deal only magic damage or ability damage. Marksman, who deals a lot of damage with his normal attacks. And the last is the support class, with tanky supports and squishy supports. So now let's get into the video. So starting up with the attack section with the first equipment, Longinus Spear. It gives you 80 normal attack damage, 15 cooldown reduction and 500 max HP. With the passive, when you hit a target, the target's armor is reduced for 5 seconds, which can stack up to 4 times. So basically it can reduce up to 240 armor. So the Titans who fight at the front, mostly warriors, can use this equipment very efficiently. The passive of reducing the armor can be triggered by only one equipment by one Titan. It won't work if 2 or more Titans go for Longinus Spear and thinking it would reduce more than 240 armor. It won't work like that. So for a team, one Longinus Spear is enough. But for assassins and squishy warriors, if you need to be a little tanky and need more cooldown reduction, you can buy this equipment. The thing is, having 2 Longinus Spears on 2 Titans won't be useful in the team fights. The Fafnir talent gives you 60 normal attack, 30% attack speed and 10% lifesteal. Its passive is Dragon's Breath, which is when your normal attack hits an enemy, it deals additional damage which is equal to 8% of the target's current HP. So it can be effectively used to counter the tanky heroes. The additional damage reduces with respect to the amount of current HP of the target. The lower the HP, lower the additional damage will be. This equipment mostly suits for marksmen, also for some of the warriors like Omen, Killgrowth, etc. The 10% of lifesteal won't help a lot in the early games, but in the late games, if you have a high damage, then you don't need an extra equipment for basic lifesteal. The next equipment is Clave Sanctity, which gives you 100 normal attack damage. With a first passive, when your normal attack deals critical damage, then your movement speed is increased for 1.5 seconds, only used by remote heroes. That means it can be used only by marksmen because they deal damage while moving. Also the mobility increase will be perfect for the marksman. Next passive grants you 25 critical chance and also the only equipment in the game that provides 40% of critical damage, which is so much useful for the critical based Titans. Basically, Clave Sanctity is the mandatory equipment for the crit based Titans. Titans who have abilities that enhance attacks such as Wukong, Violet, Yarn can find the maximum use of it. Also useful for the Titans who has high critical chance. The Muramasa grants you 75 attack damage and 10% cooldown reduction with a unique passive of 40% of armor penetration. This equipment is mostly used to counter the tanky Titans. Muramasa is good against high armor heroes, but not so much efficient against low armor Titans such as squishies. If the enemy team has more than one tank, then the assassins and marksmen can go for Muramasa in the mid and the late games. Also, warriors with burst damage can also use Muramasa. For early games, Gladiator Spears is enough for armor penetration. The beast gives you 100 normal attack damage with a unique passive of 25% lifesteal. Titans with high attack speed and damage can use this equipment efficiently. So for example, if you deal 100 damage to the target, you will restore around 250 HP from it. Also, it is best for Titans who rely mostly on normal attacks for damage. Also best for marksmen and warriors like Align, Kill Growth and so on, so that during team fights they can fight for a long time. The next is Uriel's brand. Provides 60 normal attack damage, 25% attack speed, 180 magic defense with a defensive passive of when your HP falls below 40%, a shield will appear for 5 seconds that will absorb magic damage. Also, during this 5 seconds, your resistance to crowd control is increased by 25% and the movement speed is increased by 30% for 2 seconds and has a cooldown of 75 seconds. So, it is an attack equipment that target on defending against magic damage. So if you are a squishy hero like marksman, assassin or any squishy warriors, and if the enemy team assassin is a mage like Zil or Kira, then you can go for Uriel's brand so that you won't be one-shotted by them. Also, the attack speed will be useful for marksmen and some warriors too. Also good against Natalia, she can one-shot you right. Also, the resistance and movement speed increase helps you to get away from danger. The next item is Omni Arms, which gives you 70 normal attack damage, 15% attack speed, 10% cooldown reduction and 600 max HP. Its passive is after using a skill, the next normal attack within 5 seconds deal more damage. So actually it deals around 200% of the physical damage. Has a cooldown of 2 seconds. Also, your normal attacks increases your movement speed by 10%. Omniarms is very good item for the Titans who regularly use their abilities before attacking the enemies with normal attacks. It is best suited for assassins like Nakroth, Murad, Wukong and more. Warriors like Xanis, Zephys and also marksmen like Violet, Yarn, even Valheim too. So coming to the next equipment. So many of the new players were asking me, my team say to build anti-heal, I can't understand that part. So this is it friends. Soul Detainer is an equipment used for anti-heal, suited for Titans who deal physical damage. So the Soul Detainer gives you 100 normal attack, 10% cooldown reduction and 180 armor. So its passive is the main thing here. This is the passive of anti-heal. On dealing damage with abilities or with normal attacks, reduces the target's HP regeneration by 40% for 1.5 seconds. If the effect is triggered by normal attacks, the duration is extended. You should equip Soul Detainer when you find Lubu, Tara, Arum, Killgrowth and there are so many lifesteal based titans. This equipment is generally good for warriors, assassins and even marksmen too. This equipment is also like a Longinus spear in the part which it won't stack up. Like if your team has 2 titans bought anti-heal and hoping for 80% anti-heal effect, it won't work like that. So anti-heal equipment, one anti-heal equipment is enough for a team. It also can reduce the healing effects of equipments like Beast and Gaia Standard. The Slick Sting grants you 35% attack speed, 25% critical chance and 7% of movement speed, with a very good passive of increasing your resistance to crowd control by 35% for 2 seconds after landing a critical hit on a target. Best suited for titans who are based on attack speed and critical damage. best equipment to pair with Clave's Sanctity. Also, the marksman can be benefited when the enemy team has more crowd control titans. The Death Sickle gives 60 normal attack damage and 5% cooldown reduction with a unique passive of Divine Intervention. So, when you are at very low HP, this equipment prevents the damage from a potential killing blow, means it will block the damage which has the potential to kill you and increases your movement speed by 20% for 1 second with a cooldown of 90 seconds. So if you are an assassin or a warrior who fights at the front, it is very useful for escaping and to deal an effective damage at low HP. Also, the movement speed boost comes in handy when you try to escape from a team fight. This item is effective against heroes who deal burst damage. The next equipment is Fenris Tooth, one of my favorites equipment in the game. Also the costliest equipment in the attack section, which gives you 200 normal attack damage, the highest attack damage a single equipment can offer. With a very good passive, when the target's HP falls below 50%, all the damage you deal to the target is increased by 30%. So it is so costly that you will find it hard to buy it in the early games. So most of the titans buy this equipment at the late games. For some heroes like Irie, it is mandatory equipment, so it is purchased at the early games. This equipment is also good for marksmen as it increases their damage significantly and makes them much better at finishing off the enemies. The bloodthirsty bow grants you 100 normal attack damage, 15% critical chance and 10% lifesteal. With a pretty good passive, when you buy this equipment, an extra ability button will appear on the screen. If you use it, your lifesteal is increased by 60% for 3 seconds with a cooldown of 60 seconds. This equipment can only be used by remote titans like marksmen. Bloodthirsty bow is a perfect pick for marksmen who is critical based. Also, the very best choice for the marksman who has low mobility like Telanus, Yarn and more. When the enemies try to kill you by jumping on you, the Slick Sting and Bloodthirsty Bow are the perfect combo for the sustain and escape. The Blitz Blade grants you 35% attack speed, 15% critical chance and 5% movement speed. With a Chain Lightning as its passive, it grants 30% chance to trigger a Chain Lightning when you use your normal attacks, which deals magic damage to all the nearby targets got hit in the chain. This lightning chain can also deal critical damage too. Blitzblade is a pretty good equipment to start the match with. Marksmen who mostly based on attack speed can use this equipment more effectively in the early games. Also, it is effective till the late games. Valheim, Telanus and similar marksmen like them can make the best use of Blitzblade. The Devil's Handshake, which is best known for its high attack speed. So it grants you 30% attack speed, 20% critical chance and 5% movement speed. This attack speed is not pretty much right. So let us look at its passive. When your normal attack hits the target, your attack speed is increased by 10%, which can stack up to 5 times. So basically at 5 stacks you will have about 50% additional attack speed from this equipment. So this equipment can give you a total of 80% attack speed. Marksmen and most attack speed based heroes greatly benefit from Devil's Handshake, but most suited for marksmen. Coming to the last equipment on the attack section, the Rank Breaker gives you 110 normal attack damage with 2 unique passives. The first increases your movement speed by 10% after exiting a battle. The next passive increases your armor penetration by around 190 at level 15. Rank Breaker is best known equipment to counter squishy titans because the squishy titans don't have that much armor for defense. You can also build Rank Breaker for marksmen but will need a perfect positioning to take full advantage of it. The main titans who can use it effectively are the warriors and assassins. Also, it is pretty good early game equipment. So now for the summarizing part. The Rank Breaker, Muramasa and the Longinus Spear gives you 3 different types of armor penetration. Beast and Bloodthirsty Bow gives different types of lifesteal and which can be countered by Soul Detainer. The attack speed and critical equipments like Slick Sting, Clave's Sanctity, Devil's Handshake, Blitz Blade grants you additional movement speed. Also, some grants you magic defense and armor. Some makes you deal percentage damage. So I think I made everything clear with my little knowledge. So next time when you enter a match, you will remember these things and make your own build according to the enemy team and say bye bye to the pre-made builds. So that's all for today's video, friends. Hope you have learnt new things from it. So if you find this video entertaining and helpful, kindly hit the like button. And also friends, I have worked a lot for this video with the tips for the equipments I have searched and created, so a like for this video will be appreciated and will be heartwarming gift for me, and it will support me a lot. Also share it with your friends who needs this, and the next episode will be on the magic section items. So don't miss it out by subscribing the channel and you will get a notification for that. So that's all for today's video, friends. See you all friends in the next video. Until then, bye bye and have a great day.